We are day 135, I think, on the Appalachian Trail. Didn't have a whole lot of footage maybe we're 136. I don't know. Anyway, I did take a 0 day finally. I have made it into town, into one of the towns in Vermont. Got a hotel room and didn't sleep very good. And realized I was tired. So I decided to take the following day off. Definitely much needed. In the midst of that, I was able to take a bus free. Well, it was $6. And the bus took me to this pretty cool little ski town where I ended up staying there for the night, because from there I was able to catch a separate bus that brought me back to the trail, which is where we are now. Definitely fun little experience. Man, I haven't rode a bus like that in a while. It was actually a charter bus that picked you up. Pretty cool, I guess. Vermont, this whole area has a bunch of bus systems like that. Most of them either don't charge you or they charge you a very small fee. Some go from town to town, different ski towns up here, because I guess that's a big thing up here. You can definitely tell that some of the areas are geared towards that, and to the fancier things in life, or what some might call bougie, whatever. The one ski town was just that. It had a bunch of, to me, they were almost like outlet stores, but they weren't outlets. Like, the whole area was kind of set up that way, but they were spread out. But it was all high-end stores, Michael Kors, stuff like that. So not bad. I mean, I used my rewards from Wyndham to get a hotel room, so it didn't cost me a lot of money. That worked out great. Definitely got some rest. I texted my mom and told her I fell asleep probably around, 9 yesterday. I didn't get my hotel room till probably close to 5. By the time I finally got to the hotel, changed out buses a couple times, and had to figure out the whole bus system. It wasn't hard to figure out, but the bus station was under renovation, so they actually had a temporary bus station about a half a mile into town by the Walmart. I didn't know about until I asked someone. There was nothing online about it. But anyway, we got it figured out. Got to the hotel. I had grabbed some food, and like I said, I was asleep it might have even been before 9. I don't know. I know it was early, especially for when I'm staying in a hotel. Sometimes I'll stay up a little later. But I didn't work on any videos. I didn't get a lot of videos or pictures. I got all the videos uploaded up until Sunday and Monday. Sunday to now. So I'll be working on the videos. They will be either shorter videos or they will be combined days, most likely combined days. I couldn't get as much footage as I wanted for 2 reasons. One, I had to clean out my phone. I had so many pictures and videos. So you gotta think, every time I do these videos, they take up, they eat up your storage. So I had to go through and delete a bunch of videos. Luckily, since they're all on, between Facebook and YouTube, I can go through and delete the original. So that way it gives up extra storage space for my phone, because I had like, I don't know, 2 gigabytes of memory left, which somebody was like, oh, that's not that much, or that's not that bad. It is when you're trying to do stuff, because your phone won't let you do it. So had to clear that out, delete some stuff. And the other reason I didn't get a lot of pictures and video is because my 0 day was my day for me. No offense to anyone. I appreciate everybody, but it was my first 0 since Hamburg, Pennsylvania. I just wanted the day off. I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to work on videos. I didn't want to take a bunch of videos. I just completely took the day off, guys. It was necessary. I'm not necessarily burned out, but somebody asked me in a comment on my Facebook post, said, wow, you're really moving. You must be ready to finish. A large part of me, I am. I'm not gonna lie, I'm tired. I'm at almost 1,700 miles. I'm just tired. It's a lot. I've been out here 135, 36 days, something like that. It's a long time. And almost 1,700 miles, that's a lot. So, and lately we've been moving, I've been doing a lot of, close to 20, if not over 20 mile days. While the terrain has allowed me to be able to do it. When it's a lot of climbing lately, it's been a good amount of climbing. So those days have dwindled back down to 15 mile days. But that's only been just recent. But yeah, so I'm tired. I'm not gonna lie. A big part of me is ready to finish. Part of me doesn't want it to finish so fast. But, we have other goals, other things I want to do. I've been talking to some friends and family about, some of the things I want. So a big part of me is ready to get this finished. It's a lot. It's a lot to undertake when you're doing it, especially at one shot. I definitely have told other section hikers I've saw that that's definitely, I think, a good way to do it. Yeah, it takes you forever, but you can also pick the sections you want to do. A through hike is a lot. It's definitely a lot to do on your body. But after today, or actually even probably now, we are, I think, just under 500 miles left. So that's pretty amazing. I was doing some math last night, and this morning, just looking at what's left, what all we have to do coming up. New Hampshire's definitely gonna be rough. There's the White Mountain Range. They're referred to as the Whites. Definitely a lot of elevation gain, a lot of up and downs. But some of the most beautiful stuff we're gonna see this entire trail. So I'm not gonna be able to speed through that because of how physical it is. So our mileage is definitely going to go down. I already knew that. Had already talked about that. So that's understandable and it's okay. What probably going to happen is, even if I did coming up, if I drop down to 12 miles a day average, and I might have to drop more than that, but it allows me to finish by the end of September, which is a couple weeks. I can finish almost 3 weeks sooner than I thought, which is good, considering I even took a week off to go home to Florida. So the fact that we could finish almost 3 weeks early, that's pretty great. Granted, I did give myself the longest amount of time to hike this, not knowing what to expect. So you have to remember that. Sorry, I don't even know why I carry the trekking poles. Besides my tent, I don't know why I even pull them out of my backpack. They do nothing but get in my way. I'm constantly switching them back and forth. I don't use them hardly ever. So yeah, Vermont's been beautiful. It's been interesting. One town I met some people from the militia. Well, I saw them and I walked past some of their property I did not know about. Definitely would have thought differently had I known that beforehand, and taken that walk that I did, because it was a dirt road walk. Not the smartest decision, but we survived. Apparently there's locals have had a lot of issues with those guys. So, and then there was the one town that we left. There is a supposed cult that runs the local hostel. Some people say it's no big deal. Some people say that it's definitely a cult. I don't know. I didn't go there. I stayed at a hotel. So I have friends that I met on trail. Saw them yesterday. They're going to be here today. Well, they're going to be in the town I was in. They're taking the bus too that we went to, that I did, and they're going to stay at that place, that hostel. So I'll get the rundown from them, see what they think. Anyway, not sure exactly what we're going to do today. It's always hard coming back after having a nice relaxing day in our, evening in a hotel. So it has been extremely hot out here. Water situation hasn't been as bad as it was through Pennsylvania and New York, but there's still been some areas that are in a drought. So apparently Maine is in pretty much of a drought right now. So my only concern is if they get a bunch of rain, it's going to make for flash floods. And we've all seen how bad that is. I mean, Chattanooga, Tennessee's going through it right now, I saw. So it's always a concern out here. There's been enough water for us to get to drink, so sometimes not what we exactly want, but the good news is Vermont has the nickname with most through hikers, they call it Vermud because it's so muddy. Well, we haven't experienced that because it's been so dry. So, I mean, as you can see, the trail's pretty dry. So, we haven't had to worry. A little bit in the beginning of Vermont, but it hasn't been that bad. So, I don't know. Maybe we'll look out. I also didn't think Pennsylvania was as bad as what it's been made out to be. Sure, some of the areas were rough with the rocks, but they were just sections. And once you got past those sections, you know, it wasn't that bad. I didn't think it was that bad. So anyway, all right, I've been on here for way too long. We can get to hiking, finish hiking up this hill, and there is a park campground coming up ahead. So, you know, probably take a break there, relax for a little bit, and you know, try to figure out where I'm gonna go. There's one shelter. It's a little bit further away than I'm gonna go today, so I won't make that one. But apparently has a nice platform on the roof. It's an old cabin you can stay at, and you can say it's really nice for sunset, sunrise, stargazing. I guess you get a pretty good view. So, but that's still 16 miles away. I don't know that we're gonna do that one today. And there's no water. You have to basically camel up water from below. So, I don't know. There's a shelter before that called Stony Brook. It's, I guess, right by the river. So, and you can camp right next to the river. So I think that might be our choice today. We'll just see how it goes. Still early enough in the day. We should be able to get the miles in. Not as hot today as it's been. It's been in the 90s. But today it's probably, I mean, it's not noon yet, but probably mid 80s, and there's been a decent breeze. So that's been nice. But all right, guys. Well, I'm gonna jump off of here and catch up with you guys down the trail. See ya. Good afternoon. Well, morning still, actually. Not quite noontime yet. Still just heading down the trail in old Vermont. So it's a cool little covered area of forest. It smells like Christmas right here. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. I love it when you hit these areas that just smell so amazing. I haven't really looked to see, there's not much for viewpoints coming up, but they say there's one up ahead, but it looks like it's probably tree covered. So that's the only bad thing about since we've gotten to the north. We see some every now and then, but you know, on the app that we use, it gives me a picture icon for most of the vistas and spots, even if there are, you know, a blue blaze, which is off trail on a separate trail. It still shows me kind of the view of what the view would be like. But ever since we've hit, you know, basically Jersey and all of New England, all the viewpoints it shows are during the winter time when the trees are all dead. Otherwise, summertime, like I'm in now, the trees have full leaves and you don't see anything. How's it going, guys? Oh, you know, trekking along. Slowly but surely.
Yep.
Have a good one, guys. Thank you. But yeah, so all the trees are full of life. So you don't get the same views from what they show. But that's all right. we're gonna have plenty of views coming up when we hit New Hampshire, that's for sure. Especially when we start doing those, we get above tree line, because there's a lot of climbs that are above tree line. So anyway, I just hope we have good weather and maybe not so much. I would say no issues with the wildfires, but I even saw an article earlier that Maine had a small wildfire because there was so much drought. So definitely concerning. But all right, guys, I'll catch up to you in a bit. Ducks out here enjoying the pond. And a beautiful pond it is. I'm not gonna lie, my tent fit perfectly right there. I don't know that I want to camp here. Got a little bench. I could go swimming if I wanted, but it is about to storm. Not too shabby, guys. I don't know. Might sit on the bench and watch the ducks and think about it. Just came across that. So a few hikers have talked about finding stealth spots out here to camp, but saying they've had issues with in the past with a person shining a light towards them from the woods. They called state police. That looks pretty new though. I don't know. I've heard from a few section hikers and day hikers about a little further back there being the same type of issue. So I don't know. That was weird though, because the tent's not set up. It's just laid out. Would have been a nice spot to tent, but not if we got a wild one out here. All right, guys. Pretty crazy people live right there.
I brought the water ski that night.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, that's if you're going southbound. Because I stayed at that barn on the lake, but the night before I stayed at the cookie lady's house. But yeah, some of the southbounders will bring some down there to have blueberry pancakes in the morning.
These guys at the farm must have had some left over because they made us blueberry pancakes and none of us brought any blueberries.
Oh yeah, they probably had a southbounder that brought some, maybe.
But you didn't get to stay there?
Yeah.
That was a fantastic little spot.
Oh yeah, it was a beautiful piece of property, and it was great staying in the little. We each had our own. They were set up like cubicles, like an office, but everybody had their own bunk.